restorative maintenance. I'm going to be taking this bed off, cleaning up the rust on it, especially underneath, cleaning the frame up, reinstalling shock brackets. So of course I'm taking the bolts off, and I used the electric impact on them. Didn't have any luck, and so actually I'm getting them out by hand. I've got the first one out, which is this one here, and I'm going to do the opposite side over there. I'll show you which I used. So here's the impact I started with, a Harbor Freight one. I think it's got like 300 foot-pounds of torque, so not a ton. Of course, if I had an air impact, I would probably just use that. But so after beating on it with that electric impact, no luck, this is what I'm using to get it out. So this is one of those. This is actually from Home Depot. It's a Husky ratcheting breaker bar. So, and it actually comes out pretty easy. Of course, I did spray these with penetrating lube first before doing anything. So, but I'll see if I can get the rest of these out as easily as that first one. I got the bed lifted off, and I'm fixing the cross members. That one I've already did. That one I welded it in. But I gotta weld the shock mount to it because it broke off, and then I gotta do the same thing with this one. I gotta fix, because it rusted through, so I gotta rebuild this and weld the shock bracket onto it. I figured all of them do all this, I'll lift the bed off and I can clean up all this rust under here. So I've been wire wheeling it, and then I'm gonna use a couple of different chemicals on it, and then I'll paint it all up and should be good to go. But so I didn't have too much problem getting the bed off. There's 6 bolts. You got one here, you got 2 back there, and then one on the other side, and then 2 back there. This one right here on this front passenger side was the only one that was actually broke. It was just spinning, so I had to cut it off. The other ones I ended up getting them out, and I sprayed them with penetrating lube first, and then I used a electric impact. So that's the cheap one from Harbor Freight. I got about 300 foot-pounds of torque, I think, and it was unsuccessful in getting them off. I worked on all 6 of them pretty good with that to see if I could break any of them loose, and didn't get any of them. So then I switched to using this Husky breaker bar, and I was surprised I actually got them loose. But of course it was probably because I was working pretty good with the impact first, and then also the penetrating lube. But I got all of them off except for this one in the front pretty easily. For these back ones, I watched a couple of videos on this before I did it. It was the first time I did this before, so, and I didn't notice anyone mentioning it. A couple of videos, one mentioned taking the bumper off, one mentioned not taking the bumper off. What I found is, so you got these 2 bolts here, that is your bumper bracket. This top one is actually in the way. You don't have to take it out all the way, but you just have to loosen it up so the bolt is flush with the nut, but it sticks through the nut a little bit, and so then you can pull it back and you can actually get your socket in there and take the bed off. So that's that. Still working on cleaning up some of this rust. I got it pretty good so far. Still got a little bit more work to do, and then we'll paint it up and put the bed back on. So I'm working on my truck, and I got the bed off, and I'm cleaning up the rust, doing some restorative maintenance and repairing these cross members, and welded in new shock brackets. welded these in. I did the back one a while ago, but I did the shock bracket over there just now. This shock bracket, welded this in, so I repaired this cross member, wire wheeled all this, cleaning up the rust. And so, because you can't get everywhere and get all of the rust, so I'm going to use this product. I've seen this on some other YouTube videos, so I'm going to be trying this out and using this and seeing how it turns out. But I'll spray this on and then I'll show what it looks like afterwards. Coated everywhere. I got in these holes too and sprayed, and I sprayed from the back and through the rails, so I got everything coated pretty good. So we'll just let it work its magic, let it sit up. Well, you can see it's already taking effect. It's like a white haze over some of it. It's converting the rust. So, and then I will spray this with probably some Rust-Oleum rust converter as well over top of this, and then do a final spray coat of something, some type of undercoating or bed liner maybe. So here I am finishing up this project. I'm putting the bed back on my truck. I got this undercoated, so I cleaned up the rust. I used their Moss Pro or whatever it's called. Use that on it. Painted it with some black Rust-Oleum on there, and then I did some undercoating on it, and it looks pretty smooth. I got as much rust as I could have, wire wheeled it, hammered it off, scraped it off, every bit as I could. Now it looks pretty solid. It looks like a brand new frame. It's all nice and smooth and black. And then I'll finish bolting up this bed and then take care of some of the body rust I got on it. I got the panel kits for this, so I'll do those next. I'm going to do a video on those. Alright, that's it for now.